this guy getting old yet? Last video, we talked about the 5th gen, how to put videos on it. Nice little tutorial for you guys, but I did mention that this was one of the most feature-rich iPods that you could collect. No, it's not the best. It's not the most feature-rich, and there are better iPods if what you're after is features. And I finally have one to show you guys today. Yes, that's right. Here it comes. Da 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 da. Yeah, it's just iPod Touches. Really, any iPod Touch, to be honest with you. The entire community hates these things. Nobody is willing to pay anything for an iPod Touch, and there's good reasons for that. Now, iPod Touches are basically just iPhones from the time. Hold on, I got one of those too. They're basically just iPhones from the time, minus the phone part. Maybe not this particular model, but you get the idea. They're just phones without phones. Naturally, a lot of people bought these. They're everywhere. They're cheap, and most of them honestly still work just fine. Batteries might be a little bit tired, but generally speaking, yeah, I mean, you know, you can use this to do all the same things that you can do on this. Actually better. I mean, bigger screen, better color contrast. Hold switch gets me again. Yeah. She turned off. Hold on. Gotta wake up. There we go. Come on. Hey. Oh, yeah. I was watching a movie. Matrix. Hey, remember? We did that a few days ago. Enough said, right? Plus, this guy has Wi-Fi. It has Bluetooth, which means it'll even work with your buds. So, needless to say, a lot of people pick these up for their first iPod, either mistakenly or, you know, without sort of understanding the rest of the community. You know, a lot of us in the community don't like these things, but I mean, realistically, what else is there to say? They do music, they do video, they got photos, they got cameras. I mean, this is an all, and plus this is where, you know, a lot of people wanted. Yo, I still can't figure out how to get. I can't figure out how to get out of the settings menu. New. Okay, yeah, that would make sense. So you can still get aftermarket parts for these, mostly just batteries, but you can sometimes get replacement backs and almost always certainly find batteries for these. Getting into them is also a pretty tough challenge, and they're fairly delicate. So in all honesty, if you're looking to learn how to service iPods, these right here are a really good bet. I mean, like I said, you could acquire them extremely cheaply. They're everywhere because everybody wanted one of these, and the parts are still available for the most part. Again, finding individual screens, that can be a little bit more difficult, but when it comes to like batteries and stuff, you can still replace the batteries in a lot of these. And, you know, they work fine. Like, snappy enough, right? Like I said, they'll do music. I'm actually curious, can I put... Okay, maybe not that snappy. Maybe not. All right. I'm just curious. Oh, I got a connector to Wi-Fi. Hold on. We're going to investigate something. Holy crap. That's an ad, right? Does this... No way. Does this work? Get it. It's thinking about it. Oh, okay. Well, we tried. Okay, so maybe you can't do everything you could do with your phone with one of these. I had to check. Like I said, for someone who's learning the electronics repair side of things, these are great because even if you make a mistake, which it's easy to do on one of these things, it doesn't really matter. They're cheap enough that you can just buy another one and try again. That being said, you know, I do have that one. What else do we got? We got this one. We got that one. We got lots of these. So yeah, I mean, the iPhones are even easier to take apart. Someone's already tried with these. This was not my handiwork, but for someone who's just learning the game, the Touch is probably the way to go. Or it might be a lot harder for you to buy these sorts of iPods in your region, right? I mean, if you live somewhere where they don't have eBay or you're in a really rural area, you know, finding things like this can be difficult. But these, everybody wanted one of these. Everybody had to have one of these. It's time for me to bring in the second most disliked iPod. Hold on, you hear me? I'm popping the case over here. I'm not gonna do it. Nanos. Yeah, so Nanos are sort of the second most hated iPod that everyone had to have when they were growing up. That makes them everywhere as well. It makes them cheap as well, and hard to work on. Oh boy, yep. Well, you thought the Mini was tough. Ugh, with the plastic you gotta get off. Well, welcome to the Nano. All that but smaller, right? So, yeah. People don't generally try to do anything with these, plus these suffer from what's called the black spot. If you're already in the community, you're going to be familiar with that, but if not, the black spot is essentially no black spot. Looks good. Consistent, even screen without the backlight. Looks good, right? On iPods where the battery has started to expand, the screen actually pushes up against the glass, and then that makes these impossible to take apart because there's a force going this way stopping you from sliding all the guts out the top, in which case you're basically going to break something and they're done for. So again, perfect opportunity for learning how these things work, or at least how to take them apart, because yeah, they're everywhere. Everyone had to have either a Nano or a Touch, and yeah, they're hard. They're hard to learn on, which makes them perfect when it comes to doing good work on something that you actually care about. Hopefully people don't hate this too much, because I know that nobody likes either of these, but yeah, I think that they're great for beginners, and you know what, why don't we take one of these apart? Yeah, it's not going to be the Nano. I actually kind of like that thing. That was the one that I got to replace the 3rd gen that I broke, because I left it in my pocket in the washer when I was a kid. So sad. I was so sad. Actually, we're gonna keep the 4th gen too. It's a good example piece. This guy, on the other hand, there's dust behind the screen, and we're gonna crack that guy open if we can. Oh, shout out for the boy. Okay. So, I haven't looked up a guide, and I'm not gonna. Let's just see if we can get into the thing. Now, there's a rubber gasket that goes around the edge of the glass. So I think we just want to get in between that gasket. Yeah, very reminiscent of like a 2nd gen or a 1st gen trying to get into these things. Kind of got to get, you know, multiple things happening at once here. It would help if you had multiple of these pries. Which I don't. I should definitely include that on my next order, which will be soon, because more and more people are reaching out to me about fixing these things. So, all right, I'm gonna try these. Yeah, get in there. Thank you for your help, old friend. Okay. There's just clips. There she goes! There she blows! Ta-da! Digitizer. So yeah. Oh, bit of a crunchy guy. And there's our ribbon. See that? There she is. Kind of confusing. I think that's it right there. Yeah, that was it. Okay, so there's the connector. Pulled up. Just some glue. I mean, yeah. These things did have glue. Oh, it's the rubber gasket. I wanted to stay down. And yeah, there's your digitizer glass, and there's the rest of your pod. So now we can clean this up and put it back together, I guess. What to use to clean the screen? We can try. Quick brush. Yeah, that got most of it. There with a little precision. Yeah, there's definitely something that's left in it, like an imprint on there, so I have to get Windex and like a chamois. Just the dip. There we go. That's all we want. Looks like it has scratched the LCD itself. It's alright. Just means it'll never be perfect. I'm not dying inside, I swear. If this was an iPod I cared about, by the way, in between cleaning, I'd be storing the other half inside of a more dust-proof environment. But here, who cares? It's a touch. No reason to care. Yeah, wow, what is that? You see it? It doesn't want to go. Try something with a little more kick. Alcohol. I don't want to use anything that might scratch the glass. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever that stuff is, it's stubborn. Last little bit of homework here before I put it together again. Take care of any little hairs, I hope. Might honestly be easier to plug in this side first, just so I can get at that digitizer cable. Gotta be careful when plugging in these like brick style iPod, iPhone display connectors. They're fragile and they short. They can sometimes feel like they're in when they're not, and then cause really nasty things to happen. Like white screen. Oh, get in there. Yes, okay. Happy clicks. And I think that's it. Yeah, again, I was hoping to get rid of those marks behind the screen, but no can do. Fortunately, it's marring whatever it is. Let's see if she works. I actually don't know if this one works. Oh, yeah, she works. Really low battery. That's what that is. So anyway, guys, don't be discouraged. If you're interested in learning how to work on these, pick up yourself a couple cheap touches, take them apart, put them back together, and learn the basics of electronics disassembly and repair. Get yourself a spudger. I recommend Elite Obsolete Electronics for all of your iPod needs. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching.